Part 1. La Calmette, France, 1992 to 1994.
My name is Pamé la Calmette, and I was born in the valley of my ancestors. The cool light of the moon and the moist spirits of the earth named me for the sake of the tiny hamlet from whose creche I emerged. My old name, they told me, was washed away with the tide and returned to the world of my fathers. There it would dissolve in the mystery of its own time, never to be known again. I took my first breath in the twilight before the dawn. The first sound I heard was the splashing of rain against ancient stones, and the rains were warm as it was spring. I then heard a murmured mooing as I opened my eyes for the very first time, looking into the eyes of a calf also born new, and what I saw was clear and good. But unlike the calf, I could not ready stand. I was weak, with no one to carry me, save the earth and the moon, and so I waited for their strength. And as I waited, I sensed the presence of my ancestors, a host of women from the caves and goddess lands, and they were crying, and their tears were bitter. They came into form naked and branded, and their flesh was sore. Some of their heads were bare-shaven, others had hair singed at the edges. Some tresses were matted with blood and with sweat, and their eyes had been weeping, and their tears had been sweetened by a beauty born from the centuries of suffering to wisdom, of love unrequited, the sorrow of mother unheard. And they formed a round table with their rounded soft bodies among the calves and their mothers on the fragrant hay. And for days, or for weeks, I'm not certain, they told me their stories of persecution and power, of repression and fear, their spirals of depths and the risings, the fallings, the crashings, the cycles of change, the evictions from temples, the tortures, the woe of their grief, the threads of their hope. These stories spanned thousands of years. I was young, I was weak, I wanted to flee, but I had not the strength, so I stayed, and I listened obediently. I listened from my birthplace to this tribe of tortured priestesses, and moons rose and fell, and mornings sprang from the mists, and days of sun rays broke through the fissured walls and danced on the bales, warming the hay where I lounged, enamored by their tales. And some gathered nuts and berries from the hills they'd always known and fed me. Some brought me milk from their breasts, and I drank. The earth and the moon, they lifted me, and in all this I found the strength to stand. After many days, or weeks, I'm still not certain, I loved them all, and one I loved the best. She had died 7 heretical deaths, and countless tortures had endured through the 3rd degree. Her inquisitors had never found the mercy to spare her, but in one life, that ended in death by fire, she found her dance in the celebrations at Puivert, in the land of Occitanie, in the castles and the fields, in the forests and the dell, in the music of her lute, in the music of her lake, whose waters knew her well. This, her story, she recounted in the creche, at the round table formed by her sister's circling flesh. Spiraling emotions, rising blood, sinking bones, releasing cells and cells encoding as she shared her psalm, as her auburn hair flowed long, as her eyes led us away and deep to the lake where she had once belonged. We saw her roam through her woods of fauna and streams. She was more than she was all that she seemed. And her tale broke the cycle of the rage of the sisters, their weeping and pleading. It burst the bowl of sorrow of the goddess's discord and poured white blood, giving pardon. Then, one night when the moon was black, the forms of my ancestors disappeared. Disencumbered from grief, they flew home to the stars, reminding us all to remember, reminding us all to be voices heard. They flew to their temple while they sang that refrain, but the presence of Marianne du Lac remained. I, Pamé la Calmette, and Marianne du Lac stood in the crèche with the calves and their mothers in the valley of our ancestors, in our home, the Pyrenees. And we stepped outside to the moonless night and embraced in that dark, in the quiet of that dark, through the last hoot of the owl, through the first break of mist to the rising sun. And in that communion, I heard she would guide me, though the fire is hot, the earthquakes are real, and the journey is long. The essence exists and will come from our song. And then she was gone. I stood alone. I was afraid. The mooing of the calves and their mothers, the rhythmic pecking of the chickens, the distant chugging of a tractor did not soothe my fear. The green slopes, the goatherd's flute, the plum blossoms bursting could not connect me to the tribe and her, now fully disappeared. "Have you abandoned me?" I cried, and she responded,
"I am here. Come to this moment. Come to this moment. Here is no enemy. Love your fear."
So I went there, to that place of forsakenness and fright. I entered it, then loved it as it dissolved into the night. Marianne du Lac was right. I turned back into the crèche and fell upon the hay. Time was lost, the night had come, and I was young, too young to hold the great fatigue from all I'd seen since I'd been born, and from all that I'd been told. I needed sleep to find my way into the dream, into the temple and the cave, into the slow, soft drift to the stars where dreams would be recovered from afar, then sent back to me to be remembered. And so I slept within a summer, of what summer I'm still not certain. I slept through the proddings of the cowmen as they brought my friends to pasture, and through the mooing and the milking and the chugging of the tractors. The hooting owl did not rouse me, nor the rooster and his ladies. I slept through the harvesting of string beans and the clippings of the vineyards, through the plucking of the figs, to the first chill rain. It was a cold gust that at last stirred me, blowing open the door to my dreaming place, swirling the leaves of the plum trees into my face. I rubbed my eyes and whispered, "Are you there?"
"Yes,"
she said so softly. I fell back to my bed of hay and slept into another spring. I dreamed of her gods, her stars, and other things, remembering.
Ah, this is very right and true that I, Marianne du Lac, found my way into the porous soul of my friend Pamé. It was not difficult. Humility had made her malleable. She was ready to receive my voice, and her dreams were ready to be born. Long had I known her, and longer had I loved her, and it was from that holy place I moved into the secret space where our dialogues could begin. Yes. Ah, yes. It was that morning, diffusing day and night and all mornings, into the first breaking of spring, promising a tender blossoming through all seasons, an effervescent dawn wherein our birds rejoice for the resurrection of our land and its ancestral voice, and the renewal of our friendship, long forgotten through the ages of receding tides. Yes, it was that morning when I, to myself and to the one who made us, promised to be her guide. And on that night, unbound, in the continuum of what seemed to be no time, we stood under a moon invisible, moon masked in the black sky, moon full with blood, red moon hidden in a night that knows all rhythms, shadows, forms, colors, lights, a sky that in another life had been our shield, our canopy, and our prayer. Within that night, we embraced heart meeting heart, firm-footed in the valley of our goddess lands, and the promise went forth to her, whose life had been staked with misfortunes and perils, the self-same great pain she shares, it is certain, with you, and you, and you. And so, my voice, moved by the holy breath who knows no limit to love, became known in her body's soul. As she softened her cells, making way for the light, it was then all at once I heard the call to flight for my rendezvous with the sisters in our temple in the stars, but to Pamé I would be always near, never far. Here I am, and here I have been in communion with them, my tribe. I am Marianne Dulac, then and now, and within this shimmering spectrum of our circle, this round-bodied forum, I preside. Here we celebrate the first of our catharses that began in the crèche of La Calmette. Now we feel the release, the hope, that as the age doth change, we shall be heard. In that relief, our eyes do merge as one eye panning the wide skies from this cervical window, sparkling. Look, the heavens are crackling with stars pure and new, sunrises of 1,000 blues, watercolored prisms of yellows and golds that hold at last our firmament by day. I say, I am filled with a beginner's awe from all this other world that is our temple and our home. I say, from here I help the priestesses, my sisters, find the human friend companions of their own, who like Pamé are struggling on that aching globe. O beauteous earth, O lost and helpless paradise, your children of living flesh and feelings are fearful as the age doth change. O reckless, quaking time, O mournful hearts, O apocalyptic orb, spitting out the fumes of greed and hate, splitting ground, choking atmosphere, dear Mother God, tell us it is not too late, as some of these, your children, live only to survive another test of consciousness, searching for the something, for you, for him, for the holy breath, to suffuse them with a reason for existence. O love, we are the guides. Love, this is our mission. Dear human friends, remember us. Remember and receive us through your softening volition. Shh, all is quiet now. The silver moon on earth in this fair place has set into 500 suns, and I hearken to my friend Pamé from my temple in the stars. She calls me from the grieving earth, and she is sad, and her tears have rendered a sweet sadness in me, a nostalgia for the lake I knew, a lake I beheld then with human eyes, installed in the land of Occitanie, by the stepping hills to the Pyrenees, Monlac, carved by glaciers and hidden in the woods, alive with deer and boar and quail and many other flying things. I walked those hills, mes collines. Oh, the times I stealthed away from the court in Puivert, treading barefoot to that virgin shore, casting off the dark blue robe, my identity as parfaite, to the freedom of my naked flesh, and plunging into those waters, glistening 'neath the medieval sun, I knew I was no more or less Qatar, but that my soul was earth and sky as one. That year was 1243, and that was my story then, but now is now, the end of the 20th century. Alas, the time of troubadours, fair damsels, and knights-errant has elapsed, and the Inquisition that threw us to our burning deaths. Enough! I hear her song. I go to her. Her song despairs. But she will know soon. All does change. The dark of sadness, the interminable pain.
I, Pamé, born in the first hills of the Pyrenees, in the hamlet of La Calmette, whose homes are made of olden stones quarried from this valley's deeps, I have awakened from my sleep. I dreamed I came to earth to suffer, to bear the arms of solitude and grace, to bear alms for fellow souls, to breed not the infamy of lies, to wear proudly the insignia of helplessness, to sing the tears of the ever-changing, to lament the losses of the ever-changing, to know the barren trees, the abandonment of leaves from branches spindly stripped and reaching into an icy sky in prayer for redemption. From a sadness so terrible, this I dreamed, that I had been born to bear the unbearable. And then I heard a voice announce that she had come as guide. She, Marianne Dulac, had arrived. I felt the tingle in my cells, the softening in my crusted heart. I felt her presence warm and near.
I am here.
Guardian, whom I had known in courts of song and castle fortresses, who beneath her Qatar robe had cloaked her liberty and bliss from the others, shrouded in some rigid Christian righteousness, whose Roman Church, alas, did murder us. She now, as then, stands alone, unveiled and confident, a salutation to the origin she always knew, hero of the matriarchy, pagan goddess, shameless as the naked moon. She was my sister, I loved her, and she was swept from me too soon. I mourned her with a dreadful fright, watching as she burned before me in the bonfire at Montségur. She, the most rebellious of parfaits, was glad to see her life had ended as Qatar. I missed her as she took her journey to the stars, while I continued falling to this world, its dreams of power lust, linear ambitions, fear of woman flesh, rape of her earth, technological holocaust, feminine sublimation. And when I could fall no more, into my soul she came, to show me what is dream and what is real, to guide me into what I am and life, to help me find the voice of Mother True and my inner man of golden light. She came to open these sleepy eyes.
Wake up,
she said,
and see the winter sky, aloof, gray-tinted and foreboding. Soften, and now listen. This was a season meant to suffer back into itself, so she may come, our goddess and our earth, the feminine of yearning flesh, aching for the light of him. Ah, there is such weariness before that final reach, before the drop quick sink into what it is. Remember, resurrect, and sing. To all of you, I say, to know me is to know your lake and to know its inner spring.
I know that she is wise and I am more than fool, and so I call to her to bring us home, to our bodies, to our souls, to our power of alone, to our essence in this world strange to all of history, the end of one mythology, now ready for our story to unfold.
Yes, child, all of us must breathe through fears, know our anguish, weep our tears. Allow yourselves to expand and open to the light, as the round-bodied circle of our tribe in the temple of the stars has found your gathering on earth, and she is weeping too. Pamé, do not resist your suffering. It brings me close to you.
I know that she is wise and I am more than fool, but after all is lived and won, I do know this, one story is done, and woman myth has just begun.
Part 2. Gordfadda, Ireland, 1995.
My name is forever Pamé la Calmette, as my soul was born to flower there, in a valley most hidden, ancient, yet new. Why then was I forced to submit to the fire in that place where I had first opened my eyes? Why was I told to die? Was it so I would travel here, to the long fields and bald hills of Ireland, to the gnarly woods and restless sky, to meet the whip-lashings of rain, to meet the rainbows arching endlessly, to walk steps sinking in primordial bog, to warm my body near slabs of turf, slow-burning earth in this iron stove, and then to hear the groves of oak whimpering to the mistletoe their lament of being overtaken by coaches of tourists and signposts for hotels and more B&Bs bewailing the lost wells and the loss of the trees. Oh, why was I taken from my Pyrenees? Here I cry for the spirits who once prayed to the rivers. I reach for the spirits who once played in the oak groves. I plead for those spirits to welcome my cries, yet I find darkened patches where memories hide. Oh, the sheep are bright painted and lost to their shepherd. The cows are for fattening, no odes from their keepers. And the people are nodding, overdrafted from grog. Yes, here I have found the great nature of Ireland, and here I have found her shadow of woe. And I've searched in confusion for the nameless to name me. I have suffered confusion, would the nameless rename me? But my name is forever Pamé la Calmette, named for the sake of the hamlet from which I emerged. Marianne, do not leave me, I fear you will leave me. Since that death by fire your voice has grown fainter, and now I am shaken by the winds of this island. They are alien winds, like the rains and the tourists, and I fear the wide spaces, unprotected and open. Where are you, my guide? Do you hear what I've spoken?
I never will leave you. It was done. It was promised. I live in your bones and your blood and your cells. I am your sole friend, your medium to the gods. We will never stop speaking. We will never stop being. But now I inform you a moment is given to be with the presence and less by our words. Remember the birds. On their wings I will lead you to a new friend. We know all you feel. We know who you are. Claim our protection from your tribe in the stars. Let the flesh of the rounded round table enfold you. Rest and surrender. Relax into the news that something is coming. A messenger muse. And so you will know your reason for being on this old isle. Child, my name is forever Marianne Dulac. We practiced our rituals long ago in the caves. We swam in the lake as medieval Catars. Then, centuries later, we embraced by the creche, confirming a new spiral of consciousness. Yea, in La Calmette I became your guide, sworn into your cells to always abide. Thus, I never shall leave you, and I'm here to remind you to listen. Listen, as you have done in times before, through storms and suns and stars and flames, you found your way through metaphor. I am Marianne, I am the dream, I am the real, and I say, await this friend, he comes with truth to convey.
Then is this why I am here, and at this late hour to wait? Look at me. My eyes grow dim as I stare upon that fairy hill. O grave of children who died from hunger, weeping flowers grow on that mound. Their eternal tears soak the ground, and the wind never ceases its brittle and loud, and it slashes the rains and batters the clouds, and I ache for the pitter-pat softness of rain that falls in the hamlet for which I was named. Ah, Marianne, I will do as you say. I will suffer the mists, hardened and grayed by the bitter memories of the Irish, spirits buried by Patrick, woman love feared, flesh condemned by the church, the earth scorched by invasions, rebellions lost in the lurch, millions forced into bog holes, potatoes gone rotten, children starved in the arms of their mothers forgotten, Macha sunk, then suppressed into Ireland's seas, while her earth and her children were ravaged by greed, and lost are the salmon, gone are the trees. This wound for 8 centuries bleeds from the claws of this fate. And I cry, let me leave here, and you ask me to wait? Ah, Marianne, these tears salute your command, and I say, I will wait for my lesson at hand, this late, late autumn of Ireland.
Pamé, you will meet an ancestor older than I, born from the ice age, come down from the sky, merged into the earth with the composted trees, where he mingled in wetness with the spirits and leaves that formed Ireland's primordial bog, giving birth to the breath of Iru, the goddess. And the trees grew up and housed the stags, and he grew up to be their seer. Pamé, be here, sit on this isle and wait. When you meet the one eye and receive your mission, La Calmette will recall you to the paradise path. There you will walk with a new vision and know your beloved as song in your cells. Your blood will run clean as the waters beginning, and the lake where we played will be open to you as if for the very first time. So, Pamé, hear me well. Ireland is connected to a hill we both know, and into the goddess lands you shall soon go. You will find this hill in the low Pyrenees, by a route once flown from the lakes of Killarney in the moon's midnight glow, from the forests of Donegal, 3,000 years old, to the slopes of your valley, and their oak groves, we're told. So enter your body, move down to your soul, firm to the ground, then to home you'll return, where your true heart doth burn.
I am the man with one eye, and I will give you the seed. I am the old man who has flown the winds from there to here, and I will give you the seed. I am the grandfather of your dreams, and I will give you the acorn. I am the stag, the priest of soul. You lived with me and learned from me in the shrine at Donegal. You prayed with me in the groves of Epirus. I carried you to the castle of Aaronrod. I bathed you in the northern seas. I sheltered you in the caves of Ariege. You see, I have flown the winds from here to there. I am the wind. I am everywhere. Little one, once upon a goddess time, I told you of the wars to come, and they have come. Now is the time to take the seed of this last oak of golden times and plant it in the hills of France, near the lake of Marianne, in the woods alive with boar, in the glade where rests the sphere of mossy stones, your altar in the woods. Now it's overgrown with brambles, frost to ice to winter's sleep, but promise does awaken there, where the earth remembers the stag, the mother and her wind, and the soft footsteps of the children when dawn awoke from the most northern light and drew them to the shore. There and here I was and am the deer seer of our tribe, the old man with one eye, and when the world fell asleep, I finished flying here to there. I waited for the light to break through the mist to the dawn, where the priestesses await their cue from their temple in the stars, to come to those on earth who cry for remembrance of who they are. Ah, yes, the wars have come. The trees have lost their magic and are hewn down. Little one, from the first poem I have been with you, in you where the dreams are real, and from that place we brought you to the valley and the caves of our ancestral land, hidden from the greed of man and his destruction of the earth, and led you to your place of birth. There you met the priestesses in the creche of La Calmette, and Marianne du Lac, your guide. O little one, did you forget? You baked me cakes and sang me songs and learned to love your fears. You drank the sacred milk of cows and learned to cry your tears. And now a veil is o'er your eyes. Now your trust is low. You tremble as an alien wind begins to blow into another world. O little one, take my hand. Know this kindness and this warmth. I am, old man, one eye, here and now, forever, as it's always been. I am the king, the stag, the sleuth, incinerating lies that yield the truth. Pamé, look into my eye.
Grandfather, is it true it's you? But I can't look into your eye. I cannot look, I fear. Since the death in La Calmette, I struggle for my reason here.
Would you have come to Ireland had we not given you defeat? You were attached to all you knew. Those were the chains that bound your feet.
But I'm an outlaw, a fugitive from friends and debt. I fear I ran away.
You did not flee from La Calmette. We brought you here, transformed by fire. It was the only way for you to meet me and receive your new instructions. Take from my hand this seed.
You tell me I have come this far for a seed, O grandfather?
An acorn and some barley flour and some other things for a most important ritual of spring. And this will be the Druid's hour, and the priestesses from the stars, and the goddesses, and Marianne, and all of you who are yearning to go home to earth, home to flesh, an inner space where kindred souls speak the tongue of consciousness.
Oh, but old man One-Eye, I am a fool, a child of fear, a waster of my days and nights, a spendthrift of the mother's gifts, and tight-coiled into right and wrong. Can't you see I'm in restraints? I waste the given breaths by the ticking of my life away, these complaints. Yet I listen to your heartbeat, gently pulsing through my own. Though I'm still strapped in disbelief, and from a toxic sludge I moan. Where is my life? Why am I here? Why do I so easily forget the reason for my death in La Calmette? Must I fall asleep again and miss the spiraled revolutions of the priestess's evolution as they are gathered now at the round table of rounded flesh, as Marianne cajoles them to remember me, even as I fail my present test? O grandfather, O seer of yore, I've closed down in a fitful sleep and hate myself all the more, because I know, because I see. The priestesses were once with me as black dove goddesses at Dodona's grove of oaks. There we chewed the acorns as the oracle spoke.
Child, they were your ancestors who later met you in the creche, as they cleansed their souls from centuries of rape and slaughter. And now, oh now, the earth and sky call their daughters to a feminine nobility, conscious, whole, individuality.
So if all of this is right and true, why then am I tangled here, sitting in the long field called Gordfadda, glued and twisted from within? My eyes bleed from the gorse, my head pounds from the mallet of that low, wet cloud, my nerves screech against my soul, and the endless rain becomes the hymn of Ireland's lost history. And then I don't believe my pen as it scrawls out loud. Okay, all right. If I'm to find this acorn and perform this mission, then let me take another one to chew, honoring the black doves in Dodona, and grandfather, honoring you. Yes, I will plant your seed in the Gallic forest of your dreams, old man. I accept this task. Return me to the goddess lands. But tell me, had I forgotten what is real because I hadn't faith I would survive? Was the power of the world such a lie that I had come to follow it more than Marianne and you and the priestesses I knew? Oh, I need your help to see me through, as much as any soul I know. The times are worsening, dear seer, old man One-Eye, friend of mine. Perhaps resistance came when all at once I landed here, and all I saw before my eyes was Ireland's rape and her demise. I wished to flee. You held me here. I shut my eyes, and then the fear. What do we do now? There is no blood in my womb. I've lost the moon. And also lost are cow and owl and hearth and sacred milk and all the gifts that brought me closer to our mother's heart. I lost the sight and flew away. Nay, you flew me here from there, and so I am in your old place, and mourning France, I hide my face.
Stop the buts, and stop the whys. Let loose the bonds that hold the lies. I am the wind now blowing over the long field strewn with gorse and clover. I am the cloud dissolving into night. I am the stars singing through the night. My one eye is what remains in the sky. Oh, little one, look at me. Look into my eye.
I look into your great one eye, as spirit sweeps away the clouds like some celestial broom. At last I look into your eye, and there I find the moon. Oh, glowing in the face of ye, old man, I've always known, in the trusted warmth of golden ire, within your eye the Beltane fires.
Now you see me, child of hope. And though the earth is torn by man's atrocities, the black dove's wings will expand and soar above the war, back to where the Druids reigned, in the caves of Ariege, in the forests, in the valleys, and in the altar in the woods. There a planting will occur, beneath the Pyrenean sun, beneath the pitter-pat of rain sprinkling the last seed from the last of Arlen's enchanted trees. Thus begins the new mythology from the breast of a new tribe, whose soul is now brought down to earth, down to body, down to flesh, light in matter. There's the test. And tired lies will vaporize into that olden mist, and never more the need to hide. O little one, receive my kiss. The new temple does exist.
I've looked into your eye, old man, and there I found the truth of thee. Stag and sleuth, grandfather, seer, the woman moon, the god of deer, the art of flying there to here and here to there by the light of your one eye. I've seen that moon, I've seen your face. So, old man, I take your hand, I trust you with the whole of me. Grandfather, I kiss your hand. Return me to the goddess lands.
Part 3, Loon Mountain, New Hampshire, 1996.
Now how did I land here, in the mountains of New Hampshire? I tell you, old man One-Eye, you are a kettle drum resounding from Gordfadda and the Pyrenees, and your fire breath is blazing from your nostrils like a flare, igniting on this endless road its warning, do beware. And I say, what dares the fates and you to perform such short circuits in your prophecy of going home? I despair. In shock I've fallen, head bleeding from the crash into the icy stones of these white mountains. I try to stand, but fall again, to my knees blue bruised. I bow my head to the earth. I whisper to the frozen woods. They tell me I'm alive, but lost from home. They tell me to listen to the drone of your drum rolling from the hollow, rhythms born on echoes of long ago, becoming darker than the night, then startling me with the lick of flames, molten gold, red and white, sparkling, speaking from your breath. Wake up and heed this test. Ah, yes, I tippled from the power city's sights. O dark angels, lure of past delights, made present with the promises of gold, from the sale of my song, the sale of my soul. Ah, yes, tricked from that place of lost desire, that trace of temptation grown into a fire of ambition and fame, of lies, prostitution, I spilled to the brim with the shadow's pollution. Thus was my sojourn in Manhattan, where offered a taste of a big apple from agents and marketing boards, I grappled and lurched for due reward, then tripped on that trail. It was littered with glittering profits that defamed then became my search for a false grail. Ah, yes, I'd forgotten my old name, they had told me, was washed away with the tide and returned to the world of my fathers. There, they had told me, it would dissolve in the mystery of its own time, never to be known again. And then to land here, on a mountain named Loon, nearly dead on arrival and licking my wounds, lo, ashes to ashes, I am saved by the drum and your grace, in spite of the blood of my shame and the soot on my face. My ancestors sing a refrain from afar, rolling in on your thunder drum, grandfather, riding your blaze, old man, and they say, this is how it must be. Is it? Now tell me, is this what it is and must be, this circuitous journey with near loss of a soul? But union is due, and my voice cries to you, oh, where have I been but in error, in sin?
I am here, little one, the old man with one eye. This is what it is and must be. The circles, the downfalls, the risings, the tides, the challenge of humanity. I am the Donegal seer, the host of the deer, the grandfather known as the sage of the tribe. I have heard your cry. Marianne is near, as are your sisters, and the guides, the angels, and all who protect you. You have come a long way to continue the story, and hard you have fallen. The trickster, she nabbed you. You flew into the world, its power grabbed you, and though you are frightened, your freedom's at hand. We are one in the temple. That is the great plan. Listen to the wind, Pamé. Listen to the stream. Listen to the snowflakes fall. Listen to your dreams. Watch the moon as she grows full. Watch the stars they wish to guide. Watch your breath and watch the sky. I am the old man with one eye, and I am here to take you home, to point the way to temple life, to help you not forget the dream of what it is, not what it seems. Yea, you are born to build the new. From flesh, from earth, from light within, a temple for the whole of you. I say the marriage will begin. I am the road. I am the true. I am the light, the life, the sun, the love of all, the love of one. So take the truth as it is given. So you will have the strength to plow. So you will have the heart to dig. So you will have the joy to plant. So you will have the song to sing. You will begin at equinox, and sow the oak tree's seed this spring. You'll find the women waiting there at the walls that house your church, and you will build within those rooms all that we've been promising from the moment that you heard your name and reason to exist, Pamé. Then and now you are ensouled within our temple in the stars and embodied in your valley that holds you in regard.
I hear you as a calmness comes from my hamlet far away, entering now the soul of me, my cows and owls and valley deer. So La Calmette has joined me here, and so my sadness disappears. I trust the music of my bones. I trust the words of all you say. I trust the blood within my veins. I know I will return some day, not only to my valley home of olden stones, where dreams and rituals grew, but to the temple in the stars where Marianne presides, and you, and where that tribe becomes the guide as our age doth change.
The moon will tell. My eye will turn the pages of the story, as many tales are woven here in song and allegory, and none will be alarmed as change will find a restfulness in her all-adoring arms.
Mother God, I remember you. You helped me when my birth was nigh. You gave me ground when I had none. You showed me that the dream is real, and yet I had such fear of you. Perhaps the power of your voice, pressed down since time primordial, had made me swoon besides myself when presented to your majesty. Perhaps you named me for that swoon, as I was felled by ecstasy. En français, the verbs Pamé. Oh, Mother, here we are again. My feet are firmer on your ground. I now believe the tale is true, and all of us a part of you. Mother Maca and Sophia, Mother Earth and Inanna, Mother Mary, Black Madonna. I'm ready then to heed the rule and fall into your arms of grace, and there be strengthened by your love, and know at last my humble place. Grandfather, oh grandfather, the night is dark, this night is lonely. In madness my soul's been praying, do I hear what you are saying, that the mountains of New Hampshire guard me, as my sores need time to heal? Because the power city flogged me when I knelt to it, my truth concealed? So this circuitous journey from La Calmette to Ireland to the forces of ambition was to fall and then be saved by the skin of my white bones? Lo, the lure was power. It caressed me as I stood atop the city's sparkling towers, and while dreaming of its money, I lost the milk and lost the honey, and almost lost this song. Then crucified to my heart, you withdrew the nail. That pain awoke me to the truth as you stripped down the veil. Grandfather, oh grandfather, the night was dark, the night was lonely. And what I heard, was it true?
I said, he is my son, and most beloved to you.
Then does that make you God? You, the seer of deer?
I told you before, I made myself clear, and I tell you tonight, I am there, I am here, and also I live in a place far beyond your imagining, a place that is nothing and everything.
My king?
Sing.
Let me find, then, the voices and forms, the textures and sounds, the wholesome ingredients come from the ground. Let me make, then, the cakes of carrots and raisins, oats and sweet milk, eggs freshly gathered, flour like silk, nut meats from the hills, hives teeming with honey, from my cows a rich butter, from the valley ripe plums. Let me mix it together in a sweet batter and bake it for you and your son, awaiting the day he will come.
But he's here, little one. He's been here all along, in the wind and the trees and the rhymes of this song, and his word has been with you all the length of this road, from the hearth in your cave house to the path in your valley, to the glade in your forest, from the ferry to Arran, to the Gordfadda cottage, in the storms of your conflicts, in your prayers, in your fears, to the land of your fathers and the gates to their cities, to the devils of power, he again has had pity. Little one, whose name had been lost long ago to the tides of that world, where truth is repressed and submerged, in spite of the fact that you had to return, to fall and to rise and to learn, you are named forever Pamé la Calmette, for the sake of the hamlet from which you emerged. Yes, he has been with you, and I, Old Man One-Eye, and your auburn-haired guardian, her lake and her spring. We have inspired this message to sing from the caves, from the crests, from the lowest and highest, the summer of hope. We are here to declare this news and no other, the blessed reunion of father and mother. But beware, stay close on the path, let your feet feel the earth, stay with the real ones and do not divert. We've helped you withdraw from the battle with dark. Its angel has shriveled, she is done, she is dead. But look where you walk, watch the dangers ahead. Be protected and armed with the sword of my law. Take the hand of the sun, that sword he will draw as he cuts the way clear and makes the way straight. Child, get ye home. Let this song hibernate till the first buds of March on the plum trees have grown.
Grandfather, peace is arriving, the hymns sweet with the scent, the agonies paid for, there's been the descent.
Come, little one, rise. Rise, little one, walk. Take the strong hand. This is our decree and our rightful command. Get ye home, return to the goddess lands. And when spring has come, and you've planted the seed, go then and gather wild thyme at Puiver. Then return to the square at the shrine of Mary and give the mother our prayer of thankfulness for all the treks from there to here and here to there. This is our decree and our rightful command. Get ye home, return to the goddess lands.
Part 4. Interlude, La Calmette, 1997.
I returned to the goddess lands, obeying your decree. What came to pass that equinox was a surprise to me. A tractor chugged, the air was cool, a fire warmed the hearth. While grinding barley for a cake, a bird flew in the house. It sang a song I'd never heard, not born on morning, noon, or eve. It led me thus into the woods, through the brambles, through the trees, then to the temple's circle of white stones. There I beheld Durantia sitting on the throne, sipping morning nectar from an infant leaf. And lo, there was Iyahu lighting up the moon, while swallowing the nourishment from mother cow's full teat. I then beheld Bellissima, perspiring in the heat. She drank that perfume from her brow. To all of this I bowed, while the tribe from Donegal strummed. Yes, oh yes, fair lucky harps had come to drink this brew of milk and fire, sweat and dew. Then Durantia nudged the forest breeze. Iyahu sent a moonbeam fly. Bellissima spate into the fire. The deer-seers played their harps. 'Twas night and day at once, when sunlight, moonlights, heavens dropped, its sweet and wet and silent beads. And I, into that sacred earth, then dropped the Irish seed. And so, do you see, I returned to the goddess lands. I obeyed your decree. And so, do you see, I followed instructions obediently. I knelt at the shrine of our Mother Mary and offered the thyme picked wild at Puivert. Oh, I wanted to stay in La Calmette's care, to hoot with the owl and wax with the moon. The last thing I wanted was to fly back to Loon. Oh, I wanted to root in the goddess lands. In the French Pyrenees I wanted to stay. I desired to be with the cows and the plums, near Marianne's lake, at the shrine of our mother, in the square of Chalabre, with Black Goddess Madonna. I prayed that she'd let me remain, as much as I prayed she'd remember my name.
Part 5. Loon Mountain, New Hampshire, 1997.
Old man, One Eye, this is clear. I've flown here to there and there to here, but let me confirm it, I am not a deer seer. 9 months I was gone, in your time that's a token, but for me, as I'm human, my body's now broken. Yes, I planted the acorn in the shrine in the woods. I did what you told me, I did what I could. And when it was over, La Calmette thrust me out by the yap of a poodle that invaded my house. And now I'm returned to this mountain named Loon, confounded, bien sûr, by this cosmic lampoon. Why I could not stay in the land of my mothers is a question to me, and I fear I'll now smother, lest I perish from guilt, in the land of my fathers, underneath the snow's quilt. Oh, why am I here, but to wait for the thread of a new tale to spin? Then why do I dread?
We are coming to save you. Through the treetops we come. Riding the current of the worrisome wind, we spin silver threads from the glow of the moon, weaving you once again to our breast. So here you may cleave to us, so here you may rest. Child, your body soul wearied, and misgivings were found, but our pathways now open, you stand on new ground. And though you have slept through a season inured in lost worlds, your fate's now awakened, its emblem unfurled. All is meant to be. You are not forgotten.
O tribe, like branches snapped by the ice storm, this winter has broken my hands. Like sugar maples felled, their nectar drained, so your sweet blood was lost from my veins. My dream was buried in mudslides and sleet. The winter of '98 was defeat. Your voice was silenced by the weight of the rubble. Your mirror was darkened by the skies of El Niño. But was it El Niño or the wrath of the mother? She eclipsed your reflection, the oracle broken. Marianne, I'm crying. Do you hear what I've spoken?
The wrath of the mother is born from her love. She needs to be heard through humanity's sins. Her voice has awakened from below and above. She will save those who know the divine is within. So stay here and wait for the new life. A new chord will christen the melting of ice. A new blood will course, vital, pure, amber gold, transfused from the goddess into your soul.
You've come here to save me. Your oracle is intact. I have heard all the promises. I have heard all the facts. The patience required comes down from the ages, and I'm here to confirm it with my blood on these pages. And I know as I write and struggle to birth, others are with me, birthing their worth. And we sing from the treetops, and we bathe in the lakes, and we dance in the forests for creation's sake. And there's only one thing we know as our own. We're on a new shore, and no longer alone. The priestesses gather in their temple of stars at the round table circled with rounded soft flesh, and they join with the priests and the children newborn, then return to the earth to meet with the rest. Down to the earth, down to the ground, down to our bodies, down to the sounds of fair lucky harps strumming our souls, and streams coursing life blood, amber and gold. We've returned to the goddess lands. The kingdom has come. Godmother, grandfather, the daughters, the sons, rejoice in the glory of the work that's been done. We are here in our temples. At last we're redeemed, and only because we have made real the dream.
Pamé la Calmette, this is Marianne singing from the stars, from your cells, from the cervix of nature, from the moon, from the cows, from the sunbows of heaven, from the womb of the goddess, from the light of her man. The truth is confirmed. You are on a new land. Pamé la Calmette. The beloved is bringing the tribe to its center, the children together, the shadow to light and the light to the shadow, the sheep to their fold, the cows to their creche, the protection of one in the new consciousness. Look, the heavens are crackling with stars pure and new, sunrises emerging from 1,000 blues, watercolored prisms of yellows and golds. This lives in the body of earth, I am told.
Marianne, I remember your lake and its spring, your fountain unbounding that helps me to sing, for all of the past you've allowed me to see, and the ancestors there, now connected to me. It began in the creche, ages ago. No, perhaps ages ahead. What timelessness here, no moments, no hours, here in your lake, an island of flowers, morning glories for all, morning glory for one. Your vines intertwine our fragrance, our essence, in mourning or joy, or our soul's convalescence. Your petals keep blooming through the pain of resistance to the peace of acceptance, in the fever of passion, the release of creation, the human divine, the myths of our soul. The flower lives on in the core of the whole, reminding us all to remember. Remember, we live in our temples, and at last we're redeemed, and only because we have made real the dream.
The goddess lands are within you. The new myth has come. Your story is certain. It's here. It's begun.
Part 6, Montreal, France, 1998 to 1999.
"5 months have elapsed, and how could this be? From the mountain at Loon to 1250 AD? Here I am back in France, this time Montreal. Here I am all alone, and I'm taking the fall for my heresy. Look, again I'm on trial. The Inquisitors got me, and I tell you, he's vile. No wonder I dreaded the new tale approaching. I'm burned and beheaded, so to you I'm reproaching. Marianne, have I lost you? Have you drowned in your lack? My life it is over. I have drowned in this black. In fact, I am angry your presence had taken a departure from me. You left me forsaken. Just a short while ago, on a New Hampshire mountain, you gave me the news of a new world advancing. Why then have I landed in a dungeon as captive, in this old French cathedral, near La Cité medieval, in hills far away from my hamlet, my home, hills sodden with blood from an old persecution, so far from my valley, our valley, my guide? Why again has this course led me down a dark slide? Oh, dear Marianne, godfather, grandfather, the others, my eras are switched, and I'm tricked. Bit by a bat, my blood is now drained. My purpose is napalmed, and who is to blame but myself and my failures? Oh, there lies my shame. In fact, here I writhe in the wastes of my soul, courage behind me, fear taking its toll. I'm rolling, I'm tumbling, I'm lost. Do you hear me? I'm reaching, I'm slipping, here I fall. Do you see me? Inside is this prison, my own inquisition. For months now, or years, I'm not certain, I've been combing this world for your form and your voice, searching in woe, without hope, without choice, for the hem of your garment, for the thread of your shroud. I have groped in the ice and the snow and the clouds. I have wept in the rains. I have burned in the sun. I have howled in the wind. And now I'm undone in a 13th century dungeon. Oh, meteors splash like tears in the sky, and the moon's blood has dried, and the vines, they are shriveled. Look, the body is brittle. Love cannot find it, and love has been gone for as long as the music's been gone from our song. Marianne, have you drowned in your lake or burned in the stars like a nova exploding? Is that where you are?
Get in the car.
Where are we going?
You've been going to sleep to dream a new dream. What you've been living is not what it seems. I'm at the wheel now. You sleep and I'll drive. I'll nudge you awake when we arrive.
So then you exist, my auburn-haired friend, the one I have known for eons on end, survivor of torture, the flock's shepherdess, chief of the round table of rounded soft flesh, where the priestesses hearken to your oracle sung, while we humans clamor for the next rung of a ladder that spirals and rises and sinks. Are you here to receive me on this life and death brink? Then where have you been? Oh, where have you been, my guide and my helper, my voice from within?
In the swamp of your body, tangled in weeds, caught in your undergrowth, sowing some seeds. It's dark and it's wet here. I've been waiting for light, and at last it has come from the depths of your plight. When you called out my name, then came the light's shaft, loosing these tangles, manifesting a raft, then warming one seed as it firmly took root. Here I am, Marianne, and I carry the proof as I rise on this craft to meet you again. The proof is this seedling, a gift for my friend. Do not fear, do not fear. The months lost have been gained. There's no time to this story, and surely no blame. I am here, and I am Marianne. So please get in the car. I embrace you with the love from God's brightest new star, as your guide and your friend and your fellow Qatar. I am Marianne. I am here, and I say, here's a kiss on each eye as they close now to dream. Your myth must remember the darkness to glean what it is, who you are, a child of the earth, in our temple of stars.
Marianne, I'm dreaming of a man. His stature is tall, his features are strong. He has suffered a shatter in the city of angels, where once he had shone as a star in the world. Fallen and splintered, he cried to the mother, She heard him, she kissed him, she led him to France. From a ridge he beheld me trying to dance. Yes, I wanted to dance from my body empowered, and afterwards offer the gods my moonflowers, but he grimaced and wept as he saw me in chains, my inquisitor pointing his finger in blame for my passion to be everything that he's not, his church and his world against flesh. There's the plot. The man from L.A. reached to me, then was gone, but his memory lingered and now rests in this song. And I knew I would meet him again at your nudging. Then I fell back to sleep, to this nightmare enfolding. I'm in it right now with its terrors and holdings, as if all the longing I have for one kiss from the man from L.A. has been cruelly dismissed by dark man's diabolical hiss. Marianne, I am here and I'm telling you this. The demon's the dark man, the inquisitor he, still screaming about my heresy. Hiding himself in a hooded black cowl, he growls, with a voice both cunning and sly. Convert to convention is his battle cry. Though no longer medieval, but of 2000 A.D., his tactics continue to crucify me. I'll be nailed to the stake or thrown into the fire if I don't see it his way, to convention aspire. And then I intuit, looking into his head, that all that he's after is going to bed. When I laugh in his face, I get socked in the eye, but I rise up the octave of my battle cry. The feminines rising from history's ashes, the bludgeoning, burning, the scalding invasions, the millions of lashes, the trillion trespasses. In the wake of all this, she rises again, kicks the dust off her heels, and cries, "Let me feel!" Now, look at the dark man, the whip in his hand, in the Montreal church in 1250 A.D. Look at him now in this century. What demon is this in my dreams of these ages, eclipsing my moon by his fits and his rages? Is he losing control, if but by degrees, usurped by unnameable mercies? Marianne, are you with me? I trust you are with me as my nightmare continues. Now the demon's a ghost, and we're both in a boat. I know what he's thinking as the river runs rapid. He wants us to plunge down the chute to a chasm. He'd rather us perish than see me orgasm with the man from L.A., and I say, let me go. I'm fighting and thrashing, then finally free, I jump into the current, jets spinning and roaring as wild waters grip his boat out of control. To the falls, and the falls overtake him. Down, down the chute, centrifugal mayhem, to the abyss. He drops, discharged, dismissed. And where was I left? But in waters so fierce. I fought against eddies, and swimming upstream I was spent and exhausted, when in terror I screamed, head bursting in air, in the twilight's last blink. There I felt myself sink, the last breath in the struggle. And then what was that? The mouth of a tunnel. You told me to enter. You'd catch me, you said, but I feared for a second you wanted me dead. Visions of guillotines raced through my head, approaching the edge. Then, taking my dive, with torrents of darkness blinding my eyes, oh, here I am, breathing, alive. Dear Marianne, you promised to nudge me when it is finished, this underworld journey with light so diminished, this sleep of the demon's dark dreams of power. Marianne, here you are with the seedling, I see it. Little buds are unfolding into moonflowers. Be patient, don't give up the dream, you say. So I give a moonflower to the man from L.A., and hope for a kiss, with no further delay.
I am Marianne, your guide and your friend. I speak from the temple that gleams in the stars. I dwell in those heights and live deep in your cells, effusing clean waters from the depths of your well. I baptize each moment, your hopes and your fears, as you travel your dreams in the car, as I steer. This ride is not easy, our child of the terrors, our child of the courage, child of the stars, daughter of mercy, woman of sorrows. We can't promise you ease or a comfortable way when the torrents of shadows and lights are in sway. We can promise you strength and courage and honor, and the sight of the blooms on the moon when they flower, and the kiss of your groom, yea, the kiss of your groom.
And other nightmares arrived, snow suspended in fog. A full moon is hidden in that tomb, lost moon, moon lost, lost moon, and midnight has struck the frozen dents. As moon shudders her light, dropping a thread, curling like odorless frankincense, down to my bed.
Pick up the thread,
Pleads the voice of the moon.
It will lead you to memories lost in this tomb.
The thread I've received has led me to grieve. I have a woman friend near to me, peaceful and plump, she is dear to me. A few days ago I was shocked and surprised when a malevolent gaze peered through her eyes, piercing with icicles my skin, impaling my soul. She did me in. Dear moon, I beseech your fog-lit dome. Lo, this thread in lost sorrow is sewn. Burning tears fall in suspended snow.
She's not your friend, and how I know? Lunar cycles eternal see all below. Pamé, it was 7 centuries ago when she confessed to the dark man, converting to the canons of his church and his land, as her finger aimed straight to you. He dragged you then to trial while she went free, and you, Pamé, were damned for heresy. You, inspired by the goddess's dove, that charm and emblem of the Cathar faith, released the hand of Marianne and hid your face within the folds of your dark blue robe. Pamé, an angry girl betrayed your soul, defiled your name, and to this day it is her game. She has no shame. Her false smile and corpulence repress her rage. Thus her hidden arrow struck your core, where past and present pinnacle the more. And so you have relived an olden trial, it's true. I am the moon beseeching you to break that bond. Her rage is hers, she will not ask forgiveness. And you? Disperse the fog, pick up the thread, weaving now to consciousness.
Dear Marianne, I need to know where I am.
Your body's soul dwells in the ode, in the hills of the ancients where you and I strolled as sister Cathars long ago, roaming the woods in our dark blue robes, holding hands in the sweetness of grace, in the purity of our faith, till the Pope and his army quickened our fate. Hence we fled through those hills, pursued by the dark man, who would use tools of torture to have us convert in the orthodox cellars of the Montreal church. You're not in your cave house, no cows here, no creche, to let hidden memories surface afresh. You're out of your valley, though the Pyrenees are in view. You've come here to remember, to dream yourself new. Though you're not in the hamlet for which you were named, your name is the same, Pamé la Calmette, from beginning to end, and beginning again. Pamé la Calmette, you live now in the ode, to burn out the old, so the new may ensoul. So far, you've encountered 2 demons of note. He blackened your eye, she raged at your throat. Battered and broken, you found courage to face them and told them your needs, and your needs displaced them. The angry girl, smirking, went to seed in the ground. The inquisitor drowned, never asking your pardon. Suddenly in a vacuum you felt quite alone, but you beckoned the wise one, and up came the crone. She knows, as do I, that your terrors will yield, as fear is a part of your process to heal. I talk to you now in the simplest of verse. My voice will be heard for better and worse. Such is the way of becoming whole, the balance of opposites we promise to hold. There is the gold, and this is your myth. Yea, I sing in the simplest of rhyme, into your void on these cantering lines. Know the meter will veer like the course of soul, a journey meandering, indirect, without rules, stumbling iambuses through a maze sometimes cruel, like these torturous dreams twining through Montreal, or mysterious, beauteous, unrestricted, receiving. Believe! She words come as they will, in their time and rhythm. May all human friends find their own hymns and sing into unchartered land. Bring in the new, like the goddess I am. Sing mocking, sing laughter, sing rocking the rafters as old forms become fast undone, for woman myth has begun. Prepare the soil. This is the reason you've bled and toiled, for the next spiral to wind its course. But beware of a rider on a white horse.
At dawn, New Year's Day, 1999, a white horse arrived at my chamber of tortures. Its rider was masked by a hood sewn with stars, and I fled Montreal, the stake, the dark man, knowing I'd done all I could to survive when in centuries past I hadn't made it alive. Adieu, Inquisition, and for days we rode on. As we rode, I was feeling at last I'd been saved, right up to the moment we arrived at the cave. There the rider unmasked, transformed to a wizard, and I entered most blindly a most blinding blizzard, and even the cave rolled and rocked in the snow, and the wind and the terrors of my childhood, I'm told. What a bold constellation was granted to me, early family tricksters and wizardry. Again it was France, on the plains, far away from the mountains and lakes where once I had played with the calves and their mothers on the fragrant hay. I commanded he leave the cave. Through the snowfall he feebly waved. Then remounting his horse, white as the flakes, the horse winked at me as they pulled up the stakes. Now the wizard's behind me, along with the moans of psychosis, neurosis, inundations of dark. I didn't stay long in that cave on the plains. I fled to the hills, to a French trailer park. I just can't believe that I'm so far away from the temple of essence, the love and the way.
But we are coming to save you. From these treetops we come. Watch the wind whirl and sweep winter's clouds from the sun. You've had a rough journey, and you fell at our feet. Now, rise, little one, rise. Walk, little one, walk. My hand is right here. It's sturdy and strong. You have only to know me in the truth of your song. I know you felt nailed to a tree. I know you felt burned from the fire. I know most of all your spirit is tired. Listen to the wind, Pamé, rolling, swishing, pausing, ceasing, then resting still until, surprise, a gust, swirling seeds, so one may root in soul. O little seed, know your land. O little seed, root firmly in the goddess lands. Here is our oracle found, in the goddess lands, your body, your ground.
I am afraid.
Relinquish now the ancient fright, so into earth will come the light. Pamé, you lost yourself in woods so deep, and so prolonged was your sleep, you lost the truth of what is real. I am here, in all you feel.
You are here in all I feel, this fear, these tears, this urge to pack, this heavy monster on my back. I watch the fog enveloping the hills. The wind has ceased, the trill of birds has gone, save for the meter of our song. What am I to do with all this fright that comes to me these starless nights and sunless days, when all I loved in France has gone away, when all I loved in France won't let me stay?
Pray.
Part 7. The Never Ending. New Year's Day, 2000.
I prayed. Polished amber between my toes warmed me. Buffed moon within my sky dusted me, and all grew full. Then something I'd known in the crèche, in the hamlet of La Calmette, returned. Some presence of promise, some virginal code, flowed, and it filled the goddess's bowl and poured white blood, giving pardon. Here is the chalice unbroken, held to the lips of my guide, sealing all she had spoken, and the words of old man One-Eye too, and Yahu, Macha, and Iru, and the calves and their mothers, and fair Lucky Harps and the others, and the moon, and the man from L.A. Yea, at once I heard their refrain, reminding us all to remember, reminding us all to be voices heard. And I heard it again.
Though the fire is hot, the earthquakes are real, and the journey is long, the essence exists, and will live in our song.
And then Marianne Dulac was gone. I, Pamé, born in the first hills of the Pyrenees, in the crèche of La Calmette, have stumbled in my steps while toddling in this world, a world that lured me to forget the wisdom of my valley deep. Now, hoping not to fall asleep, I speak. Are you here?
Yes,
she says so softly. I rise up to her lap of stars. Stardust has settled on her wings, and enfolded in her breast, scented with that very dust, among the rest of us I sing, remembering, remembering.
Postscript September 11th, 2001. Old Man One-Eye said, "The wars have come, and they have come. The world's towers fell. Hell. Useless retaliation, no win, no defeat. Incinerating human flesh, horrific demon terrorist. The world will never be the same. Our inner worlds will never be the same. And grief beheld the world's remains compressed to the core. Human missiles struck the towers, then blazing pyres. Oh, say did you see showering souls ascending? Oh, say did you hear the soul's refrain, reminding us to remember. I remember the seed. I remember the acorn. I remember the planting at the deer seer's command in the altar in the woods within the mossy sphere of stones in our ancestral land, in what is now the dream of the goddess lands. And the tree stands. New Year's Day, 2002. He is new man, born from dust, rising from rebel zero. Do you know something of his tower, golden sun spun reaching to her womb? Beyond the 7 gates, eternity yields the key. Post-Postscript, 2025. And so, do you see? A peasant from La Calmette, the last one standing after all these years, said to a swallow who then sang to me, Pamé left in '09 definitively. She was right. In 2009, I took flight to a desert in the western U.S., where hidden away I would integrate La Calmette and the dream, and find Marianne Dulac, lest I forget all I'd been told from the moment of birth and all I had seen of the weeping, lost earth. Years hence, I abide in a tropical land. It's 2025. Pestilence and hurricanes I have survived, while at present Los Angeles burns. The world is burning alive. So why do I write at the end of this song a postscript to its postscript? Or why do I sing, if to herald the new after what had come true? The earthquakes were real, the fires and floods, the warring old fathers battling to the end, as Old Man One-Eye predicted, as Marianne Dulac had dictated. So why do I sing to this page that is calling, but to hear what they promised to the souls of Earth's children, war-torn and conflicted? Oh, why do I sing, but to bring the good news? The ark of her covenant is landing. She is soul at the helm. We see the new shore. We, her children, implore. Is it time? Has the moment arrived to remember the promise? And I hear these changes that spanned 30 years have been only the tests of our hopes and our fears, heralding in the new consciousness. And though chastened and charred, we are blessed. They tell me we shall be lulled like infants in a cradle of civilization becoming. We are the scribes, the seekers, the heroes. We are the bearers of a new dispensation, and will never forget the centuries past. They remind us of what is to come. After all's been undone, the feminine myth has begun. Here is soul to the world, for humanity's sake. Awake, awake.